Check this out. It's inevitable. Every axe junkie picks one of these up sooner or later. This is an all-trade knockoff of the chopper. The renowned, the notorious chopper, depending on who you talk to. So this is by a company called All Trade. All Trade, let's see, you can even see on the bottom here. Let's see, can you? All right, forged in Taiwan. All Trade is a company that I have some familiarity with. I bought this All Trade boys axe and got a little kerosene here. I'm gonna clean it up. And I made an elm handle for it. And I really like it. It's a good boys axe. This one is 2¼ pounds instead of the usual 2 pounds. And I like that. I like, just kind of a little bit of extra weight. Now the theory behind this axe, come on now, is the springs in here push these, what would you call these? I don't know, these little teeth to the side. So when you hit the wood, the axe goes through, and these things here are supposed to push the wedges out left and right. You see that? I see these routinely on the Facebook Marketplace for $80, $100, sometimes even more. None of them are worth that 7 pounds wear safety goggles. None of them are worth that. This is a relatively cheap and plentiful axe. It's a product of the 1970s. Now, I don't want to take too much of the paint off. I just kind of want to clear it off a little bit. Kerosene's great because it doesn't lift the paint too much. Let's see. So this is the Splitmaster patent pending, drop forged, heat treated, head forged in Taiwan. All right. So we're going to take this off. Now you're going to go to the Hazard Fraught, the Harbor Freight, and you're going to get this set for like 10 bucks. Okay. It's a great deal. You can use it for 9 billion things. I love Harbor Freight. I am a lifetime loyal customer of Harbor Freight. And you're gonna take your punch and you're gonna put one end onto the axe head. I'll show you how you're gonna do this. You're gonna put it just like this, just like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to lever out those step wedges. So watch how easy this is. Boom. You see how easy that is? You don't want a flat one. Like say this is a nail set. Don't use a nail set. Number one, you're gonna ruin the nail set. And this is actually kind of a nice Stanley one. I like that. I like that one. Or actually, this is a nice Stanley one. Don't ruin your nail set. Get a punch. And you're going to take it to the other side, and you're going to go like this. And what does the trick, see, these step wedges are, and they're reusable after that too. You take the little burr off, and you just throw this in another axe. I keep all of them. Maybe take the rust off. This is tapered. You see how that's tapered? So naturally, when you pound in, you're going to be wedging against both the step wedge and the side of your axe head. So you take this out too. It wants to rotate out. So you see that there? Look at that. Now this handle, I hate it when people put the wedges crossways, because when you do it, that's what you do. $5 is what this cost me, and I think it's worth all of $5. You look at how it cracked right here and right here. Well, look at the step wedges. It cracked in parallel with the step wedges. So that is just a terrible thing to do. You can take your punch then, and look at that. Look at how easy that is. And this is actually being really nice. Get that out of there. You might need a little little pair of pliers. If I could find my darn needle nose pliers. In fact, hold on, give me a second. There we go. Actually, I didn't even need the needle nose pliers. All right, so you can see kind of where we're at now. I'm gonna give myself a hand and just kind of tap this handle up. I got a big old honey locust mallet, made it out of a big knot, big burl. So once you seat that, and that's actually kind of, I think, the real secret, is if you can do it, you want to jump that handle up. Now watch how easy this is going to be. Famous last words. I'm using it to kind of lever. There we go. Lever up. So we'll get that out. This is being really nice to me. I don't want to act like all of my rehangs are this easy, because they absolutely are not. This has been, I think, the nicest one that I can ever recall. Look at that. So, like I said, I'm not trying to act like everything I work on is just a dream. Now, there are guys that do make products that you can use. Oh, what is that in the back there? Oh, there we go. There are guys that make products that you can buy that will, drifts. I've made drifts. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that shelf on there. That's why this axe came loose. You look at how massive that shelf is. When this shelf is there, when it's on an axe, like you're just gonna have a bad time. You are guaranteeing that you will need to rehang that axe. If you want your stuff to look like the old timers, you got to use what the old timers used, and it's cheaper too. I buy kerosene by the probably 2.5 gallon, and I use it for just all kinds of stuff. Don't be foolish with it, but it's still a flammable product. But man, all the other solvents that I use are flammable too. So this is an amazing set. I just got this the other week. I wore out my other set. $7.5. So wow, could these be 7.5 pounds? I wonder if they're steel. Yeah, look at that. Look at how it's mushroomed out just from this. That's a strong spring. Cool. So 7.5 pounds. You're getting your money's worth on weight alone. We gotta fix that. I think this is a great way to fix that shelf, because you don't create an abrupt, if you were just to, I don't know. And look at that. Look at how these darn step wedges have cracked the handle. You can see it's all the way through here. This handle would be perfectly fine if somebody hadn't thrown those enormous step wedges in there. That grinds my gears. Let's see if I can get this one here. All right, so we got it trimmed up for the most part. We're gonna do just a little bit of shaping with the Shinto. Make everything nice and smooth. All right, so if you already have the head of your axe off of the handle, off of the haft, there is no reason at all not to Dremel and do a really thorough job dremeling the, wait, I think I'm gonna put it right here. There we go. Dremel the underside of the eye. See, that's gonna prevent you from having that bad shelf that we just got rid of on the handle. Just grab a cone bit, something like that, and you know, here we go. Which side do I like more? I think I like this side a little bit better. So let's cut that right there. All right. Let's get her seated. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. That's all the way. And now look at the fit. It's so much better. So much better. In fact, I could even, yeah, you know what? I need to look at that. Look at all that daylight through the, can I get it? I can see it. Look at that. Daylight in the front. So we got to take down the sides here. The middle here, maybe. Yeah, we got her. So, you know, that just goes to show you that just because it's hung one way from the factory doesn't mean it's a good hang. We got a nice, no daylight, when you can see no daylight anywhere in that hang. And I'm kind of curious to see what these do. I think we got it bottomed out. I'm gonna give it maybe a whack or two with this. Oh, you know what? We got a little more. See that? We covered up the line. Yep. Yeah. More weight on the mallet. We got, I'd say maybe a 1/4 inch out of that. You know, it's just so important to have a big wood hammer like this, so you're not just destroying your wedges. Yeah, look at how much more I'm getting. That's just with the weight of the wood mallet. And you know what? Honestly, it's probably fine. But I don't like these at all. At all, at all, at all. Oh, ow. Jeez. I'm not worried at all. You don't need glue. You don't need anything. The friction from wedges like this is unbelievable. I would be shocked if it ever came out. All right, so we're gonna give her a swing. We got her all plugged up with poplar. This is a salvage handle, obviously, and it wasn't even that nice of a salvage handle to begin with. So all that I demand from it is functionality. That's it. It doesn't owe me anything other than, you know, lasting a couple of swings at this point. I'm not even gonna expect it to go too terribly long. Check it out. Splitmaster. All right, let's give it a shot. All right, so I don't actually have that much wood right now. This is what's left over from that pile that I got. This is honey locust. So let's see how it splits. We're gonna go straight down. Ooh, okay. Wow. That wasn't an easy piece. There we go. So that's actually not going to help you. So look what it did here. Stopped about a 1/2 inch short of those springs. Same thing here. You see that? It's almost like those springs stopped the split instead of helping you. Hopefully these little guys are easier. There we go. Oh, come on. All right, so a little after action review. Yeah, I think this is cool, but it's definitely a gimmick. The problem that I see is these springs kind of get in the way. If you've got a really tough piece and you're just about to get it split, these springs actually just kind of stop at the wood instead of splitting open the wood. It kind of takes your last 10% of momentum away from you. And the other issue is if there's a piece of wood that I, with an axe that didn't have these springs, maybe would have just split it so that you've got maybe a couple inches at the bottom hanging on, I can then work my way around that round, leave the whole thing intact and standing, and carefully split that round into 3, 4, 5 wedges that then easily come apart after I'm all done splitting. So I don't know that this really helps split anything necessarily. I feel like the springs really come into play when you could have split the round or the wedge with a regular axe and then they just throw your wood all over the yard. I'm a little hesitant to do the flick with it. I tried flicking a couple of rounds and I thought to myself, man, that's probably not great for the springs. You know, that's probably how you actually break the springs. So I don't know. It's cool. It's fun. On these old all-trade axes, I actually really like the quality of hickory that they used. I like the green paint. The construction of the axe seems actually pretty good. Nice stamping there. I like this collar here. This is actually a full forged piece here. Adds quite a bit of weight to the axe and gives you just a little bit of overstrike protection. So, I mean, I really like the axe, but that said, this, you know, I almost wonder if it would be a better chopper if you just took the springs out, you know? And if these break, you could absolutely just pop out. It's held in place. There's a post here, there's a rivet. You pop that out. You can take these levers right out of the axe head, and even if they break, it'll still be good. I wonder if the springs are compatible with the chopper. I wonder. The other thing I was curious about is the hang. I kind of sand down flush all of the wedges that I do, so that if it does come loose, I can immediately feel it, even a little bit, and my fingernail doesn't even catch on this wedge. So it's a nice secure hang. This axe, I mean, even with those real goofy step wedges that somebody put in there, there's a couple of cracks here on the shoulder that make me a little bit nervous, but I'm hoping everything holds together. I won't use this thing that hard. This is more or less going to be a wall hanger, so to speak. A lot of fun. It's a good weight. 7 pounds is still pretty heavy, but it doesn't, you know, beat you into the ground too hard. I like it. You know, I'm leaning towards the gimmick side of things, but even a gimmick can be a lot of fun. So here's the Splitmaster chopper clone made by All Trade. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.